was the most outrageous thing I've ever seen. But no, the one time back in, I guess it was 94 or 95, it might have been, yeah, it had to be 94, 95, because I was married to my first wife. We were living in Princeton, Texas, and I was looking, I guess it was northwest sky, up high. It was about midday. I'd say it was about 5 o'clock, probably summertime maybe. I was working, just got home from work, so maybe about 6. Anyway, and when I looked up, I saw, I'm not, and you know, hand to God, I saw this. You know, like in Star Trek, in the old Star Trek, when they take off with their spaceship, and you'd see like a rainbow color, a prism behind them.
Yes.
It was stretching it was like bending the air, pulling the air really, really fast, and you know, you're barely catch a prism because it's just hit it right, I guess.
Exactly.
I looked up. I didn't see like a dot or a ship or anything like that. I just looked up, and all of a sudden I just saw this spontaneous rainbow that had, I guess it did have an edge, but it was so far away and faint. But it just took off and flashed, and it was just like a split second, and I was dumbfounded for like a moment, just blinking my eyes, and I thought, well, maybe my glasses, maybe it just the sun was reflecting in my glasses, right? You know, maybe I just angled, I looked up at the right time for a photon to go through my fucking brain, I don't know. You know, and then tonight, August 25th, 2023, at about 9:20 p.m., I'm looking at the southwest sky at the moon, and I see a little point of light, you know, all those stars out, a little point of light underneath it to the right of me. You know, it just looks like a planet that could be reflecting. Usually it's like Venus, Mars, and then we're looking at the moon thinking I should get my binoculars and look at the moon, and then all of a sudden, that light that I thought was like a planet. I thought, had I read something that it was Venus or something? It was close. You were going to see them grouped together here recently or something. I had to look that up. But anyway, that light just started going up, and then it just went up, and then it was gone. And I was like thinking to myself, there's no flashers. It was a star. It was a fucking planet. There was a fucking planet. It was a little bright thing reflecting the sunlight, and it wasn't. I'm dumbfounded. I'm still freaking, I need water. Hold on a second. That just blows my mind. Oh my Lord.
And when you said about the different rainbow colors,
Yeah.
we looked from Tennessee, we looked through binoculars to see what it was, because everybody's like, it's moving funny, you know? So my ex-husband went in and got binoculars, and we all looked in it, and it looked like a rainbow like a bubble rainbow thing around. Going around.
Like a bubble. That's, you know, when you look at a bubble and you see that glossy, that colored reflection.
Exactly.
Interesting. So shielding technology, or it was some kind of field that it was generating. That's interesting.
You notice at the 4th of July, or anytime we're shooting those fireworks, they sit down here. It's like they send their security down here. It's like they...
Oh, really? Oh, we need to Tennessee? You're not there anymore, sweetheart. You're in Texas. Well, it's interesting that comes up now because, of course, you know, with the recent Senate hearings, they you know, obviously it's pushing so they can get more money towards the military. It's like, oh, well, you know, looks like there's aliens, so it looks like we're going to need more money to make better lasers and armor and faster ships that can do inertial dampeners. You'd think it would be that, but it's probably by fucking, you know, bullshit that's, well, maybe it'll work. We're trying to see if we can communicate with ducks. So what else have you seen? Have you seen anything else?
Yeah, you know, whenever I was pregnant with my second baby, I was asleep that night, and I kept thinking, why is Billy scratching my stomach? And, you know, I was like, stop, and he was like, what? And I was like, you're scratching my stomach. He's like, I'm laying on my opposite side, whatever it was. You know, and
okay.
and I stopped and I thought, I was like, oh shit, you know. And I looked over, and there were three small little children-looking things. They were the size of kids in the side of the bed.
Are you fucking with me?
Nope, I lost my daughter. I lost my child, whatever it was, 2 days later.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that. No shit.
It's like, was that a warning, or is that something, or did they see my kid? You know?
Holy shit. So you actually had an encounter. That's third kind, is it? No, third kind is when they take you. So that was second kind when they contact you. First is when you see them, right? See, what are the 3 contacts? Let me look it up here real quick. How would you ask that question? What are the types of encounters? That's right, encounters with extraterrestrials? Question mark. I hope I spelled that right. The 7 classes of extraterrestrial close encounters. This is via DuckDuckGo, which is probably, they say that they're not tracking you, but they lie. All right, so. All right, this was actually J. Allen Hynek, an astronomer back in '72. He apparently said that there was 3 types of close encounters that humans can have with beings that we would refer to as extraterrestrial. He wrote in this book called The UFO Experience of Science Inquiry, and apparently everybody adopted it. So, over the years, many people have taken those 3 types of encounters and expanded them into a number of subcategories, and even an extended first list. So, okay, if any of the 4 newer categories of encounters are widely accepted, in fact, not even, okay, so they're not rational pairing. Okay, a close encounter of the first kind is a sighting in which one or more identified flying objects have been spotted. So I just had a close encounter of the first kind. I may have had 2, if I think about that one back then, and who knows how many else I've seen, because I don't want to discredit myself. Alright, so that includes flying saucers, objects which cannot be attributed to known human technology that appear in the sky, or strange, that's what the government's trying to say, so that they can justify a little bump in their budget. Or strange lights, which they've seen those all across, and I've seen a lot of videos, and some are completely unexplainable, and some are. Like, there's a lot of hoaxes out there, and they can be explained. I just started flicking behind me. I had to make sure it was my dog and not an alien sneaking up on me. Alright, so a close encounter of the second kind is one which a UFO has been spotted, but there is associated phenomena that comes to it. It's like you see a UFO and all of a sudden the electricity goes off, and there's a crop circle, or there's that's crop circle. Burned stuff, dead animals. The power turns off. You like all of a sudden you pass out, or you're just standing there, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? Like it's dark or something. You don't know what just happened. Like you got a lot of memory loss. Radiation heat, paralysis, or some sort of other unnatural physical occurrence. All right, now close encounter of the third kind would be those in which a UFO has been spotted, but go further to include a visual confirmation of an animate object that is associated to the UFO. For many years, reports of a close encounter of the third kind were the most controversial, as there is little to no way to prove their validity. Like an alien came up and pushed you down, and he ran away. Well, you pushed me down on the sidewalk. Look at my knee. Well, there's really no way to say that an alien did that. You could have just fallen, you drunk son of a bitch. All right. Close encounter of the fourth kind is one in which an animal is abducted. Not an animal. Well, I guess it is an animal. It's a human. A human is taken by an alien dude that wants to probe him. In these cases, okay. See this depending on your interpretation of it. Abduction does include a visitation in which the human is not actually taken aboard a UFO, but is in the custody of an ET while on Earth. So rather than pushing you down, he's going to grab your wrist and say, "You're not going anywhere." Now, he may not say it like that. He may say it like with his brain waves, and all you hear is yeah. Alright, so the fifth kind is one in which there is bilateral contact, which both of you are like, hey, hello, Mr. Alien, my name is John, or Sean, that's me. John is in my French name. This can be through some audible form of communication or by some form of mental. Oh, telepathy. So I was wrong. So telepathy is only in the fifth kind. This is like when the alien's going to talk to you. It's like, go make me a peanut butter sandwich, bitch. Alright, so that's the fifth kind. The contact could be initiated by either a human or an alien dude. Or dudette, you don't want to assume that it's always a male dude, but I bet you there's gender inequality in space. All right, a close encounter of the sixth kind gets you where a UFO or a UAP now, which I guess that's just a drone. UAP is probably just a drone, right? Or its inhabitants. In 20 years, we're gonna know, right? All right, it tells a UFO or its inhabitants that directly cause injury or death. Like they put a probe up your butt, and well, it depends on the situation. It's really invasive or not, but if yeah. Well, I mean, have you ever seen Starman? That was a movie. It has been cited numerous times that this is unnecessary, and it's already included in the Hynek scale under one of the other categories up there. And the most controversial, apparently this one pisses off a lot of people, is a close encounter of the seventh kind, and this is where the human and extraterrestrial, they mate. Oh, it's a hybrid thing. I wonder if this is related to the lizard people that live under the earth. It says it's an old theory. Oh, it even goes back to the Egyptians, according to some translations of the ancient text. Yeah, I'll bet you it was that Jebediah or Jeremiah Stitchin, whatever his name was. Yeah. Yeah, he deciphered a lot of Sumerian, and it didn't go over very well after a lot of people started looking at him. Like, he got a lot of prestige at first. Jeremiah Stitchin? Oh, I had to look it up. I wish I had a Jamie. Jamie, look it up! Anyway, but it's seen as one that's so hard to conceive because the biological sense, like the DNA would, if somebody from another part of the galaxy, you gotta imagine their DNA, it's gotta be different. Of course, a lot of DNA on this planet's the same. What if it's like that all the way out there? I don't know that for a fact. I don't even know if that's viable. What do you think about aliens having babies? Think it's possible? Well, there's a lot of people, even some that have prestige. Actually, I can throw some names up there. I guess I could look it up, but they said that that's what separated us from the primates. Whenever the primates were growing, that somewhere down the line when we were still hanging out in trees, some aliens came down and either they took like a hypospray and went heaps. You guys are going to have bigger brains now, and then we started to evolve. I don't know if that's true or not, or if that was God's plan. I think it was God's plan, honestly, because it seems like it's too far for aliens to actually get here. So these UAPs and UFOs and what I'm seeing up in the sky right now, I don't know. They did get a hold of something in 1947, and apparently there was something that was before that as well. And then I'm sure since then, all countries, especially those that have actually, Russia, China, God bless. Have you seen all all around the world, all the big giant monuments? I wonder if the aliens really are real and they just can travel interdimensionally. Because the space to go at the speed of light or greater, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there. Have you ever heard of Bob Lazar? Yeah, I read some excerpts from some things he said, and he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I watched that, and I watched the whole thing. He seems like an interesting guy, and when he's talking about it, you believe him. I think I believe him, but I don't know if I believe him because I think that he might be just insane, or if he really was there. I mean, he's got credentials that are backed up. He was in a newspaper, which is provable. They actually have archived copies of it, where he created a jet car when he worked at Los Alamos. Was that what it was? See, I'm flying on this blind. I'm not even looking stuff up. I got the fucking computer right in front of me, and I'm not doing shit with it except looking at this. Huh?
My daddy studied him a lot.
He what?
My daddy has studied that man a lot.
Studied what a lot? Say it again because I couldn't understand you.
That man.
That man. I'm sorry. It was blending together. I heard and I was like, what? Bob Lazar. Yeah, that man. Yeah, he was an engineer. Anyway, he created a jet car, and he was in the newspaper, because of it. And apparently, he worked there for years and years and years. And when you go there, apparently when you went there, there's people that still work there. Whenever he worked there, he'd name them off to you. And you go ask them, hey, did you know Bob Lazar? And they're, oh yeah, he was a cool guy. He did all kinds of stuff. He was a smart guy. And he had credentials at MIT, but somehow his credentials at MIT got completely erased. And the files that were at Los Alamos were gone. Every bit of record of him working there, and every bit of record of him having the education that he had, except for what he had in his own hands, his own diploma, which they, some were saying was, could have been replicated. You could have cut off for that. But anyway, he was like, somebody tried to erase him. Somebody was successful before the modern day with computers, and they actually went and took the files, the only files that were there that were about him that he hadn't, didn't have control over, and got rid of them. But except for the one thing that they couldn't get rid of, which was a newspaper, and it was just something they didn't even see. Probably they just overlooked. But he said that he was putting, he was helping to back engineer certain projects, and there was no cross communication. They had it compartmentalized, and you could go to the JRE and watch the whole thing. I recommend that you do. It's actually a good episode. You should go check it out. You should go watch the Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson. I know a lot of guys say that he's a pseudoscientist. He'll tell you, I'm not a pseudoscientist. I'm not a scientist at all. I just got into the art. He was a reporter. Long story. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I saw a fucking UFO tonight. UAP. Would it be? I guess, you know what? Since I don't really think that aliens are here, and I do have the belief that, I trust the government. No, bullshit. Do you think, I think I saw a fucking, one of their drones. They were probably lighting it up so a bunch of people would look at it. I haven't looked it up over there. I got a lot of, I don't know. I need people to tell me what they've seen. Some people have looked at it. I am freaked out. This is insane. This is insane. Oh my God, Mary. I saw a UFO. Mary? You're on the air. You realize that, right? We're doing a podcast right now. I'm actually recording you and saying all this shit right now. So it would help if you would actually talk and maybe throw something in and try to articulate your words instead of mumbling, because you're probably laying on your bed wishing I'd shut up so you could watch TV. Yeah, I heard you say uh-huh. I heard you. I guess that's it. I'm gonna probably try to go on the net and get flagged by the men in black and see if anybody else has seen this shit, because that's driving me nuts. Well, not really. I mean, I was honestly in awe at the very moment that I saw what was going on. I was looking at the moon. That's what I was looking at. And there was a star. I didn't know what it was. I was like, well, it's probably not a star. It's probably a planet, because the Mars was there a while back, and it usually happens that way, for a little while. And I thought I heard something, and then it just started going. All right. Well, thank you for talking to me about it. That was Mary. She's on the phone with me. Hey, love you.
Okay, baby, bye.
Bye.